Lieutenant Catalina and Lyria are attempting to flee an airship, and some Imperial soldiers are attempting to stop them. Catalina is stopped and her name is yelled at by a man named Palmer. When Lyria stares at a purple crystal he has pulled out, the crystal inside her chest begins to respond. As soon as Catalina commands him to halt, Palmer's crystal bursts and Lyria is ejected from the airship. Then Gran, our major protagonist, is shown to us. When the enormous battleship in the sky bursts abruptly, Gran and his little dragon, Vern, observe a light detach from the ship and land in the forest. As soon as he sees this, he instantly gets his sword and walks over to the forest with Vern. They discover Lyra. She tells what transpired with Catalina on board the ship. The reinforcements are seen by Catalina. Lyria explains that they are Imperial troops from the Empire when Gran inquires as to why they're pursuing her. The troops are encircling them from all sides, but Catalina arrives just in time and uses her magic to strike them. Later, Catalina introduces herself to Gran and lets him know that she formerly belonged to the Empire but is no longer a member of it. She continues by saying that Lyria is desired by the Empire and that she was kept in solitary confinement as part of an experiment. Catalina assisted her in fleeing since she felt it was improper. After joining them on their journey and promising Catalina that he would aid them in finding the Empire, Palmerin appears and blocks their road. Then Palmerin calls forth his Hydra, a four-headed dragon. Gran receives a severe chest wound from the dragon's stomp. As she observes this, Lyria casts a spell to transport herself to the afterlife where she intends to cure Gran and impart her strength to him. However, Palmerin uses a gem to interfere with Lyria's power as she's doing this. Gran does nonetheless awaken. Gran and Lyria unite their abilities to conjure the mythical dragon known as the Bahamut, just as Palmerin orders Hydra to attack Lyria. When Palmerin sees the strength of Bahamut, he's horrified and orders everyone to flee. Gran doesn't feel good and collapses on the ground unconscious as Bahamut prevails in the battle and the dragon soul enters the crystal of Lyria. When Gran regains consciousness, Catalina explains to him that the Empire has been studying primal crystals to expand its sphere of influence and that Lyria is the key to all of their research. However, even with all of the Empire's resources, they were unable to fully unlock Lyria's power, so they kept her locked away until they could finish all of their research. Lyria's strength originates from a primal crystal, and she's able to manipulate primal monsters. But Catalina spared her because she wanted to show her a new life outside of being a prisoner. Gran must accompany them in order to flee the Imperial forces, and Catalina informs him that their destination is the island of the Astrals. Catalina reveals that the only location to discover a remedy for Lyria's strength is on the island of Astrals. The group gathers the next morning to board Catalina's ancient plane for their excursion. The airplane carrying Catalina suddenly becomes unsteady during the trip, and they crash at the island of Angona. Soon after they crash, a guy by the name of Rakam observes them and looks at Catalina's spacecraft. He informs them that their ship has been totally ruined and will never be able to fly again. After spending some time in the village, they left to ask Rakam to be their helmsman, but as they got close to the ship, they saw General Furious in charge of some nearby Empire soldiers. When General Furious notices their movement, he demolishes the structure in which they're sheltering. They get away. Catalina responds that they would need to notify everyone in the city. After Gran recounted to her something he overheard General Furious say about his intention to destroy the entire island. The weather suddenly deteriorates and a tornado storm forms. When a guy responds that he has a large ship but that his helmsman is seriously injured and no one can fly it, Rakam says he will act as the helmsman and assume command of the ship after stating that they must get everyone off the island as soon as possible. General Furious suddenly blows up their final airship and threatens to destroy the entire island by unleashing Tiamat, the goddess of wind, on them. Lyria claims that if she approaches Tiamat, she will be able to stop her with her powers. In an effort to encourage the ship to start up one final time, Rakam starts chanting to it. They encounter the savage beast once they have ascended to a sufficient altitude. Lyria uses the primordial crystal to connect with Tiamat, pleading with her not to destroy the island. Tiamat ignores Lyria's pleas and continues to assault her. Tiamat's chest contains an infectious crystal that the Empire has implanted in order to subvert her beliefs and corrupt her mind. Lyria requests that Gran uses the Bahamut's might to destroy the tainted crystal. He ultimately breaks the crystal, restoring her to normal and saves the island. Tiamat then returns Gran to the ship, presents Lyria with a gift, and vanishes. The following day, they fly to their objective and arrive at the first place known as the Vaults, where they must acquire supplies because it's said to contain an abundance of food, armor, and steel. There, a guy asks them to help him locate a highly important person who has gone missing. The man identified the missing person as the Archduke of Vaults. They begin looking. Catalina informs them that she feels a feeling of magic emanating from the football, which makes her believe that they're being followed by the same figure they saw following them the day before. Gran asks the girl who she is, and she replies that her name is Lo, a mage of vaults. She says that she has been following them because she knows that they're also looking for the Archduke, who is her master. When they eventually emerge from a massive tunnel, Lo spots a hidden entrance that has been magically concealed. As they search for the Archduke inside the hidden laboratory, after entering the secret passage, Lyria informs the others that she feels something there. The strongest Imperial Knight in the realm, the Black Knight, the Empire's top advisor, is then seen. Catalina is astonished to witness this and questions what the Black Knight is doing in this place. They explain to the party that they're also looking for the Archduke because he promised to work with the Empire on a collaborative project with primordial crystals. But the Duke utilized all of the research for himself and placed a crystal inside one of his enormous robots. After they go, a mechanical monster appears behind them. Lo informs them that this machine must be one of the Archduke's creations and that the creature is being controlled by the Archduke's magic. Lo approached the machine and begged her master to stop, but the machine ignored her pleas and began assaulting her. Fortunately, Gran intervened just in time to save Lo. They stumbled onto another enormous machine in a mystery room where they also encounter the Archduke. He informs them that he's behaving strangely, and when we notice that his eyes flash red, Vern warns them that this is a terrible sign. The Archduke doesn't recall anything and appears to have forgotten who his pupil Lo is. He will require the might of Lyria's primordial crystal in order to awaken the Iron Giant's true power. After the mecha awakens, they use the power to awaken the Archduke's creation to attack Gran and the group. Then the group starts fighting the Iron Giant with all of their skills. They eventually destroy the mech. Lo approaches the Archduke after killing Colossus and uses magic to jolt him back to reality and lift the wicked spell the Empire had placed on him. Gran informed her that they would be continuing their journey toward the island of the Astrals now that they had located the Archduke. The following morning, as everyone prepares to bid the residents of Vaults farewell, Lo informs the group that she will be joining them on their journey. Gran then battles the sand monster and obtains a sword during an adventure they have in a ruin. Once there, on an island, a guy named Eugene spots Rakim. He introduces himself and tells the others that their island is at war with the Empire right now. They then proceed to the local shops to get some supplies. Gran then admitted to Lyria that he had left something crucial at the store. He hastily goes back, but Lyria is gone when he gets there. Lyria was powerless to save her since the hooded person was clutching the purple stone, which inhibits Lyria's power, and she was taken by the person who was following them. Pommern was the one who kidnapped Lyria. He calls forth the dragon. Gran strikes him down before he can harm Lyria, but as they look up, they see that the sea dragon has unleashed a tsunami that's going to destroy the entire city. Fortunately, Rosetta emerges and uses her magic to save everyone. Lyria reveals that she was in a deep slumber and was concerned about the creature's strength once she awakened. This also awoke the enormous sea monster, so Gran immediately used all of his strength to strike it and kill it with his sword. And this brings us to the end of the video. Consider subscribing to the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon if you enjoyed today's video. See you in the next one.